This episode of 3LWTV is brought to you by Inferno DR. The Dominican Republic comes alive this Labor Day weekend with one of the largest international events for the African American LGBT community. For booking and information, log on to infernodr.com.
I'm Adam Benjamin Irby, and you are watching 3LWTV.
Welcome to 3LWTV. I'm Lonell Williams coming to you today from a rooftop in Harlem, New York. My special guest is Mr. Adam Benjamin Irby, one of my first and favorite bloggers.
Oh, get out of here.
So yeah, we're gonna talk about why you left and why and
okay,
what brought you back. So stay tuned.
Love brought me back.
Adam Irby began blogging as a hobby and did not expect that his raw, emotional prose would bring about such a large following so quickly. Emerging as a standout voice in the LGBT community, there were speaking engagements at Yale University, book deal discussions, and an ever-growing international support base. At the height of it all, Irby walked away, stopped blogging, and focused on his personal life. With that hiatus now over, Irby is back with a vengeance. 3LWTV wanted to know more about his sudden departure as well as his excited return. So you started out with Adam's Web blog, which became one of the premier black gay blogs, and kind of at the height of it, you just walked away from it. Why?
It just seemed to be just too much going on at once, and things that come out about me and situations I was going through. Honestly, I just couldn't do it. I felt like the person I was with at the time didn't necessarily like the whole thing either. So I think it was just causing problems, and I just felt like I needed just to go away. It just was too much, I guess, for my regular life. And I think I just wasn't ready for it. I just didn't have the right mindset for it at the time. Because I really didn't expect it to become as much as it did. When I first started back in 2007, it was just a hobby. I just felt like I had all these relationship experiences, and my life felt very much like Sex and the City, hence the whole black gay Carrie Bradshaw thing. It just felt like that. So I would just write about it, and I'll just be honest, not even just sexually honest, but just with emotions and stuff like that. People are like, oh wow, this is so honest. I would just keep it real. It just felt like the fundamentals of what I had started was starting to crumble because of all of this notoriety that I, quote unquote, pseudo notoriety, because I don't.
But did the notoriety, did that play some part in the dissolve of your relationship?
No.
Okay.
The fact that that person did what they did.
Oh, okay. Ooh, okay.
But even not even so much that, because it still went on after that, which is another thing that I was just very ashamed about, dealing with somebody who was doing you wrong, and you're still doing it. Like, what are you doing? And it made me feel bad inside, and I was just like, what am I doing? How am I doing? Who am I? I just really, my confidence is really just really messed up, in myself. And I was just in the whole situations that I just didn't have any business in, and it was just crazy. So it wasn't even so much the whole thing about what happened, just dealing with it after that, and then it becoming public, and it's like, oh Jesus, right. Here we go, and I just couldn't deal with it. I just said I just need to just go. So I literally hibernated.
What's the biggest lesson from this relationship experience that obviously crumbled and devastated your world? What's the biggest lesson from that? Well, that's what you just said.
I guess, yeah, it is.
And it devastated ours too, because you were gone.
Yeah.
So, but I'm saying that to say, what lesson do you take from that into your next relationship? Well, so that you don't repeat that.
Well, my new thing is that I'm not really. I guess I did a YouTube video, kind of as coming back. I'm letting people know that you are all you need. That's the big thing now. You are all you need. We are made in the image of the Creator, who is whole and complete, and we are also then whole and complete. And if someone else comes along, they should be a compliment to who you are, rather than being everything. And it's like from the inception of the blog, it's always been, oh, I'm looking for the right one. Oh, where is that person? Was it you are that person? I think I learned that I am the one for me. So right now I'm not looking for a relationship at all. Like I'm good, and it's not even on like, oh, I'm jaded and they did this and I'm just feeling like, no, it's just that I just really have taken a lot of focus on myself. Like I said that in the video, like we're with people and we're faithful to them. We don't want to cheat on them, but we cheat on ourselves. I mean, how many times have you said I want to go to the gym and you didn't go? How many times you said, oh, I want to go back to school, I want to study this, and we don't do it? But yet if what's his name called, we on the first plane train, and it's ridiculous.
Right,
why are we doing this? Turning your whole life upside down, having unprotected sex, risking your life, you know what I mean, to be with such and such, when you can't even go out to the gym and stop eating, cookies and cupcakes for yourself. And this is something that's going to be for you. Like, why can't you do that for you? But yet you can turn your whole life around for somebody else. It's ridiculous. You know what I mean?
And you just touched on something very, very, very important about having unprotected sex.
Yeah.
And syphilis and HIV are still like running rampant in our community. Where is the disconnect? Because the information is there. It's not like we don't know better. Why aren't we doing better?
I think a lot of times, I mean, myself included, like I've never had unprotected sex before. So, I mean, to me, honestly, condoms really aren't a big deal. A lot of people don't like them. They hate them, hate them, hate them. I don't really have a problem with them. Like, they are right with me. So, I'm not a person who particularly has like, oh, it feels different, it's whatever. I mean, yeah, but no, it's really not enough to make a difference. But I guess coming from the top standpoint, I think a lot of times, people, they want to, I know at times you kind of feel, and this is stupid and late and tired, I'm just going to just keep it real, that's what I do. You feel more connected to the person if it is raw. You feel like, okay, if I'm with this person, this is, my shorty, or this is my man, this is my nigga, then I feel like I should be able to do whatever and be more free. I know I've been with a lot of people like, oh, I want you to come inside me. You know what I mean? So like, whereas it means something to them, I guess, more from like that bottom standpoint. Like I want to feel that. I want, you know what I mean?
Right.
I want that kind of connection with you, and I kind of feel that way too. In a way, I mean, you should be able to not use condoms in a quote-unquote committed relationship, but who is really committed? And all it takes is one time to step outside, do whatever. People will tell you one thing. Now, this is what the jaded part sound like, and now I'm not trying to be. I'm just keeping it real. Okay. But people will do one thing, say one thing, and then do something else totally different. Or you'll think, oh, you love me, you this, you that, you third, next day, on to the next one.
So when did you become comfortable with your sexuality?
I didn't really come out or have sex or anything until I was like 20. It was a lot to struggle with because, you grew up, you're in church. Because I grew up, our parents are ministers, we're Pentecostal, apostolic, hand clapping, foot stomping, going to hell in a hand basket, church folk. That's the way I grew up. So it took a lot to kind of get me to the point where I was like, okay, for real, I was kind of like, look, God knows what I'm doing anyway. He knows what I'm thinking anyway. So what I'm hiding from him for? F it, I'm gay. So, and it took me to 20 to do that. But from then on, I never was, DL'd in the workplace. I never was like, I figured my whole thing is once my mama knew, that's what everybody else think. You know what I mean?
Mom, take that.
She didn't love it. Actually, I told this, I think I told this story before, but I'm not really sure. But I was like 20 years old, and I was going to school. I was, in college or whatever, and it was one day that I was getting ready to go to school one morning. And my mother came to me and she was like, what are you doing? And I'm like, nothing, what do you mean I'm doing? She said, what are you doing sexually? And I was like, nothing, or whatever. She was like, are you sleeping with men? And I said, yeah. And that's just kind of, and the first thing that she told me was, oh, well, you're going to hell. First thing she told me, like, that was not even good morning, how are you doing, how this happened, you're going to hell. But the thing is that, and also she told me, she said, well, if you keep living this lifestyle, you're going to be dead before you're 30. Which I resented her for a long time for that. But I mean, I realize now, 6 years later, that, a lot of that was out of fear, and we talked about it. And, because your parents want the best for you. And I think that, the gay thing, which is so odd because it's so rampant in the Pentecostal church, especially because like all these people out there are just so gay. Like, I mean, come on.
Right.
But it's like, that's like the plague. Like, that's like, oh my God, be a crackhead, have, 8 baby mama, just don't be a faggot. And it's just like, but pastor faggot, choir director faggot, deacon faggot. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't get it. It's just so strange, but it's weird. It's the thing that everybody tries to avoid, like the plague, but it's rampant.
What advice would you give to someone young that is struggling with their sexuality?
The truth is just the way to go. It's constant. You can't deny the truth. The truth is what it is. If you have vasectomy, you have vasectomy. God knows what you're doing. So ain't no point trying to hide from him. So and even if you say, well, I'm not gonna do it, he knows what you're thinking about. You want to anyway. So, you know what I mean? And that's the point that kind of got to me. Like, look, God knows what I'm doing. So what am I sitting here fronting for? Like, who I'm fronting for? I'm fronting for other people, but at the end of the day, okay, I'm a front for mom, I'm a front for daddy. I get hit by a bus tomorrow, I get shot by a firing squad. I'm dead. Folk can cry, be cute, whatever, but they're gonna go on with their life. But I didn't live my life for me and live my life in my own happiness because of what other people thought.
So what do you want your legacy to be?
I want people to, I guess, feel like he did something to help me out. I want people to know that I've helped them, that I've done something to help make them happy, and to have like happy memories of me. As far as like the blog and that's the notable stuff is concerned, just that somebody was strong, was courageous, was out, and kind of did help me, to the average layperson, deal with my emotions coming out.
Thanks again for always tuning in to 3LWTV. Always stand in your light.
3LWTV.